If I wasn't a graphic designer and needed branding for my business but had no budget, this is exactly what I would do. To start with, it's always best to work with a professional to get your branding professionally done. But if you don't want to invest in this part of your business just yet, and if you actually enjoy the creative side of things, then this could be the best option for you right now. Once your business generates more income and when you're ready for it, you can always work with a designer to refine your branding and get it spot on. And don't worry about doing a branding now and rebranding later, because even the biggest companies in the world do it every now and then. The most important thing here is to have a branding in place so that your audience and potential customers can trust you and see you as an established, trustworthy brand that they feel comfortable buying from. Designing your brand doesn't need to be complicated, even if you're not a designer. If you follow the next steps, you can actually get it done in as little as 5 days. Obviously, the more time you spend on each of the steps, the better. But in this video, I'm just giving you the guidelines for you to follow, and from here, you can take it as far as you want. If I didn't know any of the Adobe tools, that wouldn't stop me from creating my brand, because I would use something as easy as Canva or any other tool. Any tool you're comfortable with works just fine. Here's exactly what I would do. I would make sure I have 5 days within a week or 2 weeks, they don't need to be consecutive days, to design my whole brand. I'm going to give you the guidelines so that you know what to do on each of the 5 days. On day 1, you're going to focus on finding your vibe. And this is my favorite. Some people dread it, and actually many people skip it and they go straight to designing a logo. Something very important for you to know is that your branding is not just your logo or your colors. Your branding is everything. And actually, what makes your branding more special and more unique to you is the vibes behind it. This is the mood or the energy that people feel when they see your stuff. Before jumping onto day 1, you should be very clear on who your audience is and who you're selling to. Is your brand made for kids or grown-ups? Is your brand about being cozy, or is it more neon, bolder? Is your brand for beginners or more experienced people within your niche? Do you have a minimalist approach? Do you like colors, or are you the all black everything type of person? People pick up on that vibe before they even read a word. The great thing here is that you already know your vibe, you just haven't named it yet. And that's what we're gonna do on day 1. Start by understanding what your brand is about and what your audience wants to see and what you want them to see. Also, it's really important to differentiate what you like to consume and what you like to produce or create. This part can be tricky because it can be a little bit abstract and subtle, but once you look at things through that lens, it changes everything. On day 1, I would also do a little market research. I would look at my competitors and check what colors are they using, what is their logo like, what fonts are they using, what is their main vibe, are they more illustration based or photography based, what's the overall vibe of the brands or creators you admire. But always remember that the market research part of this is only helpful to give you an idea of what's out there and not to copy anybody, because 1, you can get in trouble, and 2, you don't want to be like everybody else. That's not the whole point of designing your brand. Another exercise you can do is to write a list of the words that come to mind when you think about your brand or the things you want to evoke. Keep all of these notes handy, because on day 2, we're going to be talking about colors. And this is where people spiral. I've had clients spend weeks, actual weeks, stuck between 2 almost identical shades of blue. If you do this, it's going to be counterproductive and it's going to make the whole process feel tedious. Instead, what I would do is keep it simple and choose a palette that's consistent and works across all of my visuals, from social media posts, website, newsletters, and everything in between. Once you have your palette, everything you design feels more you. The way I would choose my color palette is by going back to day 1 and checking my visual references for mood and vibes, and from there I would use these images to see if there is a pattern of colors that get repeated that I'm naturally drawn to. Always being mindful of this and reminding myself that I want to choose colors, shapes, and visual references that I want to evoke and create, not the ones I like to consume only. For the color palette, you should be fine with 3 to 4 colors in total, and you can add an extra one as the accent color. This accent color is going to be for your calls to action, website buttons, newsletter links, or interactive elements, but also you can use it to draw attention where you need it. Normally, the accent color is the one that represents my brand the most. It's called the accent color, but it doesn't need to be neon. It only needs to stand out from the rest of the colors from your palette. Then on day 3, I'll be covering typography. All you need really is 2 fonts and 3 if you're feeling spicy. One font is going to be for your headlines and one for your body text. The headline font can be bolder and more expressive, while the body font should be simple and easy to read. This is the one you're gonna be using the most for the body of your text. Trust me, don't get too eccentric with the fonts, because nobody wants to struggle reading your stuff if you choose a super quirky font. Moving on to day 4, and notice how I haven't talked about logos until now. I'll be looking into my logos. This one comes with a warning. Copyright infringement is real, but also you definitely don't want your brand to look like everyone else's. Canva's pre-designed logos can be very helpful for inspiration. Same goes for their illustrations. Those belong to other creatives, and you really don't know what the license terms are. That could cause problems down the line, so I would completely avoid them. What you can do instead is stick to basics. You can use shapes like circles, triangles, lines, rectangles, because they are uncopyrighted. So what I would do is play around with those and create something of my own. Now go back to your competitor research and make a note of what you like and dislike about their logos. Then use that to shape your own unique style. And always remember that the whole point here is to stand out and be unique, not to blend in. By looking at your competitor's branding, you're actually learning what not to do. Another thing is make sure your logo has variations so it adapts well to each context, and that is still clear when resized really small. On day 5, we're gonna put it all together into a brand book. It doesn't need to be fancy, complicated, or multi-pages even. You can just have a one-pager PDF with all of your visual elements, from your fonts to your colors, including the hex codes, to your logo variations, your mood boards, any shapes that you found interesting that could work well with your brand. That way, the next time you sit down to create some content, you won't be looking for your fonts or not know which colors to use, and everything will look consistent and on brand. This is going to save you tons of time and stress. And here's a pro tip. If you're using Canva, you can add your colors, fonts, and logos to your brand kit. So every time you open Canva to design something, you're gonna have everything handy and available for you to use. This feature right now is part of Canva Pro, but if you're going to be using Canva on a daily, it's actually worth getting it. So in just 5 days, you're not randomly throwing graphics together. You're actually building a brand that feels like you and that other people recognize. And don't worry if you don't have the budget to hire a designer just yet. If you follow this guide, you're definitely ahead of the game. If you want to give this a go, this video should give you the essentials of designing your own brand. And if you'd like to go deeper, I've put together a course that takes you step by step through the entire process. It is currently at a better price, but it's gonna go up soon, and you can grab it from the description box below. I would love to see what you create, so if you want to share it with me, more details in the description box as well. I hope you found this helpful. Feel free to drop your comments below, and I'll see you in the next one.